G'day guys, Dom here. So it's official, I am back. And this is the new workshop. I figured I'd do a bit of an update video. A lot of guys were asking for a workshop tour, which this is basically what it's going to be. I'll do another one of these later on when the workshop's like actually finished, because right now it is not. That is a hole right there. That is a hole out into the open, into the street, which is not ideal, and it's part of the reason it gets fucking cold in here at night. I mean, it is freezing right now. Anyway, so, workshop. This is a door. There are many like it, but this is mine. This is where I come in every day to do all knife stuff. I share this place with two housemates, and this is one of them's. He's a Pimpar's toolbox, which I use stuff out of, and all sorts of other car stuff. Over here with the air compressor, which is going to be insulated with some of this really nice soundproofing foam to make it bearable in here. This is a nice air compressor, but like all air compressors, it is loud as fuck and horrible to hear. So the more we can do to kind of keep that sound down, the better, and makes you not want to kill myself. Up here we have an etching station slash chemical station. At least that's the plan. At the moment, I've just got the etcher up here to do my logos, but I want to get a anodizing setup up here so I can do really fancy finishes with titanium. The only reason I didn't have that in the past because it was so filthy in the workshop, there was no way to keep it clean. And when you're anodizing, cleanliness it's very important. So that's going to be coming over here, and I'll probably get a vise over here with a Dremel hung up on the walls, so I can do just like random Dremel stuff, like filing in D10 ramps and shit like that. Just cause. Over here we have the packing station over here slash chainsaw station, because my housemate was building this, which is an anvil stump, because this guy has finally given into peer pressure and started forging shit. Not because it's, you know, fun or anything, and I like hitting shit with hammers. No, that's ridiculous. I actually picked up this 2 days ago. This is a blacksmith vise thingy. Got it off Facebook. 150 bucks. I do reckon I did quite well. The jaws are still good. It turns. The gears aren't shattered to fuck. So yeah, this is gonna come in handy for Damascus and shit like that. Not that I really want to make a lot of Damascus. I think I might make like 3-4 billets a year, but it'll be cool. It'll be fun. Every now and then do some customs with, you know, DB Blades Damascus. Be sick. Little movie table, which has basically been in every workshop I've had. It's basically, I had this when I just started knife making, so it's, yeah, I'm surprised it's still going actually, because I've beaten the fuck out of it. But it's cool. Work in progress stuff. This is a collaboration with my friend Metal Monkey Knives, which I'm very, very much dragging my feet on because it's been about 2 years. Keychain cutters, just a very short batch of offcuts. I'm also working with this stuff from Takafi Steel, which is laminated steel with a Super Gold 2 core. And as you can see, it looks just mental. It's it comes to you basically like totally straight Damascus, so you've got to kind of manipulate it a bit and add some sexy little ripples into the pattern. Wow, fuck, I can't talk. So I've got a couple blades coming from that. These two are customs. I'm really excited for these two. Like, I want to do inlays with these. This one, I want to do like a big curved bolster with burl up top, and then have like a dovetail bolster, and then this really long sweeping grind, which should look sexy as fuck. And oh yeah, this is another DB custom working on with C-Take inlays, because I have a mill and I like to show off and it looks cool. And yeah, stuff like that. This is packing stuff over here, which has got very clearly packing and shipping written on there to keep this dumbass from putting non-packing and shipping stuff in there. It's bound to happen, but we can pray. We can pray. Actually, these over here are some knives. These are actually just so I can strap them up real quick. That was not supposed to happen. I wouldn't just like fuck up a sheath. Alright, so this is a DB custom I made a couple weeks ago. Probably one of the nicest DB customs I've ever done, in my opinion. It's kind of out of the normal for me, mostly because it has tree carcass on the knife handles. This is a mystery tree carcass that I bought about when I first started knife making professionally, so about 4 years ago. I bought this stuff. It's stabilized and all that, and there is some purple resin filling in these cracks, so it has kind of a cool look. And I sort of inlaid it, I guess that's the word for it. Basically started off as a solid chunk of canvas micarta, and I milled it down, and I put in this this piece of burl in there. So there's actually all one solid piece, and there's no liners, it's just micarta and burl. Acid stonewash finished with my logo pattern on the back. And then I've got this really nice crisp bell finish satin on the bevels. Definitely one of the nicest knives I've ever done, and I almost don't want to sell it because it's just, I don't know, it really speaks to me, this one. And it's also got tree carcass on there, which is something I've done like 3 knives with, so we'll see. There's going to be more timber handles, but it's going to be slow. I don't actually have that much timber right now. Over here we have a Primus. This one has CTEK handles on it, which looks really cool. CTEK is definitely not an easy to work with material, but it absolutely looks bonkers when you finish it up and buff it up real nice. Green liners on there, just give it some strength, because G10 it's known for being brittle by itself, but I find once you laminate it with some G10, it's decently strong. It's definitely strong enough for a liner lock. And this one's got a little bit of lock stick because I've got to take it apart and clean it and get the oil off that lock face up there, which is causing it to stick. This is my new friction folder design. This is the sliver. Basically a gentleman's friction folder. This is what the Takaful steel looks like once you buff it up and etch and all that. So you can see it has this mental pattern where the outside jacket gets mirror polished and everything else gets etched. If I remember correctly, the outside jacket is like 316 stainless steel, or 304 or something like that. The downside of that is that the outside core doesn't heat treat very hard. It gets like 36 Rockwell, so you can't really use it for line locks or anything with a detent ball, unfortunately. And yeah, that's just, I guess it's just how it is. I'd love to do this with a folder of some sort, like maybe make my own Damascus and make like folder blades for this thing that are, you know, hardenable and work properly for a folder. I mean, because the core of this is obviously 60 Rockwell. I've had them tested. Like, when I got this heat treated, I had this milled in there so you can actually Rockwell test the center. So I know it's 60 Rockwell, but the outside's soft and does not work for a liner lock, unfortunately. But yeah. Definitely works for friction welders and stuff, and when I do slip joints, it'll work for that too. And last but not least, we have this full custom over here, which I did for a guy who got me the perfect time. I must have been like in a crazy mood because he asked me, "Hey Dom, do you want to make an 18 inches overall Tanto?" And apparently I said yes. So this came into existence. Hands down, the longest blade I've ever done. It is so long. It does not fit on any of my tools. I had to make a whole new Kydex press to fit this thing on. But it's cool, and like, just holding this, it makes me want to chop the shit out of things. So I think I've done my job with that one. Yeah, packing station over here. Just chainsaw shit over here. Somebody cut this stuff up. This has got materials in there for now. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there yet. I just want to keep this just for shipping stuff, pretty much. Giant bag of packing peanuts. Funny story, I've got about 1,000 liters of packing peanuts because I did not pay attention when I ordered them, and I ordered way too much. So at my mum's place, there is 2 gigantic bags of these things. When I say gigantic, I mean about 2 meters tall. So yeah, I'm set for fucking packing peanuts for probably the rest of my life. This is a printer, which I'm going to smash with these things. More on that later. Kydex setup, drill press from Aldi. It's got a laser on there because lasers are awesome. Gigantic grill over here for giant pieces of Kydex, which almost never gets used. I basically just bought it to do those giant kukris a while ago because there was so much Kydex that I teed up. I had to have basically this thing. Over here we have some files, which is just here because my housemate gave them to me. And these things, which are a lot more exciting, are my knock-knocks, which is what I'm calling these Tomahawks. They're 300 millimeters overall, and 3/8 thick, or 9.5 millimeter thick, 80 CR, whatever the hell it is, high carbon steel. And these things are just so fucking cool, man. Like, I keep on smashing shit with them. They're not even like close to being finished, but like I'd come over here every now and then and just be like, smash, because they're cool. I'm so excited to do these things. This project has been in the works for nearly 2 years now. I bought the steel back in 2016, I believe, and it's just been sitting around. So we finally got it all cut up. Next step is going to be surface grinding these things, which I'm not quite sure how to do. What I'm thinking is get an aluminium plate and then kind of bolt this down to the plate and fly cut the top of it. We'll see how that goes, because basically this is way too wide for my surface grinder. But we'll see. Next to that, we also have these things and these things. So this is a 10mm thick, or 3/8 thick, sorry, ADCR surgeon and keychain cutters. Now these are so ridiculously thick that they are going to be garbage slicers. I mean, these are going to set records for how badly they'll cut. But I don't really care. It's going to be cool, and people are going to get a kick out of them, I hope. And if they don't, I don't really care either, because I do what I want, and I really want to make some of these fucking ridiculously thick little knives, because it'll piss off the right people. And it also gives me a chance to play around with cool finishes like this one here. It's kind of like a, I don't know, what is it, a checkered finish, because tools do fun things when you use them incorrectly. Oh yeah, this thing here, this is a nice chunk of titanium for round 2 of 25mm thick fixed blade. This is going to be interesting. I don't know when I'll have time for this, but it'll definitely be a mill project for sure. When I did the first one, well, basically I had a fraction of the tools I have now, so I should be able to do it quicker. I don't know if I'll be able to do it cheaper, because this is not going to be nice on any of my tools, but we'll give it a go. Don't know when that'll happen. I have absolutely zero time in my schedule for this, so we'll see. There's an assembly table over here. I've hung up my drops because it looks cool. Basically, this is sort of my office right here. This is where I do most of my work right now. So assembly and all that sort of stuff. I've got all my stuff close at hand. This thing came from Mum. She works in a doctor's surgery, and they were just throwing stuff away. And she sent me a message, "Hey Dom, do you want this gigantic lamp goosenecky thing?" And before she even finished talking, I said, "Yes, Mum, I'll absolutely take this thing." And it lives here now. I've got to get a new bulb in this thing, because this is, gets really hot and it's not bright enough. But at the moment it's working. And it's not like I'm short on light right now, because there is so much light in this workshop. It is ridiculous. But it's a good thing. You can see exactly what you're doing, and it stops me sending a knife out with a scratch that I didn't see. Over here, this thing that I've been creepily rubbing, can't talk right now, is my my sort of a center punching anvil. It was made by Ellard Anvils, kid on Facebook. More tools. My favorite toy in the workshop. These shelves were my roommate's idea, and they work really, really well at looking cool. They are shit shelves, but they look awesome, and I do not care. Gluing station right here, clamps, lapping plate, sort of precision area right here. Just sort of, at least the goal is to kind of have this area for anything that requires the mill or sort of accuracy, which is why I got the surface plates and everything. Sandpaper hung up. The whiteboard of optimism up there. And this thing is something I'm messing around with for straightening titanium, so you can kind of open this up and then put your titanium in there, and yeah, kind of works, kind of doesn't, needs some more, the concept needs more work, but it's an idea. And Kydex stuff and scraps and shit. Safety stuff over here in case I set myself on fire again. And you can see that's the drop from my axes. Now, to put it in context, that piece of steel up there was about $550 if I remember correctly. So that and a $470 water jet bill means I have $1,000 invested in those Tomahawks over there. So they were going to be expensive. I'm thinking at least $600 a piece for those Tomahawks, because they ain't cheap. This is the grinding room. Over here we got my grinders. So we have the little buddy, disc grinder, and the Tag 101. Rocking the Dalu stickers, because these are fucking awesome. I got to get more for other tools, especially the mill, because the mill does scary things sometimes, as I learned today. Bandsaw. This one's also got a seat on it, works awesome. Used belts up here. I do own a broom, so you might not believe that, but I do actually own a broom, and I sometimes use it. yeah, just angle, sorry, just belt grinder stuff. I put these up the other day. This is just some tin. This basically just stops me burning the whole fucking place down with sparks because titanium likes to get hot. So I chucked all this tin up here and it basically protects me and stops me from burning the place down. Sandblast cabinets, we have garnet over here and bead blast over here, so I can quickly switch between them. Shop vac down there, acid over here, fresh belts up here. What is it, whole room extraction up here, and both of these two are actually plugged into the air compressor. Just have to flick a switch. And over here we have sort of a angle grinder table slash task table slash die grinder table. I got to figure out something to put right there because that's a lot of dead space, which I'm not thrilled about, but we'll work something out. Might make like a dust collection system over there or something. Yeah, so that's the grinding room. Over here we have my CNC, which is broken, which is typically how the CNC spends its time. I've owned this for about 2 years now, and it has been functional for about 3 months. So yeah, I'm very good at breaking this thing and not so great at fixing it. Yeah, we'll get it fixed. Over here we have my Aldi thing, which has my drill bits in there, my end mills in there. This is all the blades I've been processed. There's about 30 blades in there. Line locks, shitloads of line locks. And we have, where are they? We have both long and short slenders. So we'll get those done too. So if you guys want any line locks or friction folders, I got you covered. Send me a message. And yes, I am taking orders on all of these, so hit me up. This actually is going to be cool. This is RWL 34. Now, it had to be reheat treated because my roommate welded on it, which was not ideal, but we managed to grind out the welds and it's going to make a sick knife. I want to try and do like a traditional Japanese wrap. I want to use the traditional cord, and I want to do like those cord inlay things over here out of titanium, and then kind of hammer them up and make them look absolutely dope. So that's going to be fun. I just got to find the time for it, man. I haven't really got time for custom, like, one-off shit. At the moment, it's just, like, pens and folders, and I got to do surgeons again, which has got some exciting news attached to surgeons, but I'll wait before announcing that. Next to it, we have the Messmaker 3000. This is my manual mill, and this thing gets used a lot more than I thought it would be used. It is my baby. Like, I basically spent all day on this thing today, making an absolute mess, but it works real well, and I got all the tools for it now. I've got the thingy, this thingy, which is bloody awesome. I like to flip it around and pretend I'm Alex Steele and pretend people watch my videos. And then I have the Tomahawks fly cutter thing with the aluminium insert, which works absolutely awesome for G10 until it gets really thin. And then when it gets really thin, it likes to rip itself out, and if I can find it, never mind. Oh, here. So it'll actually rip itself out and basically pull the G10 into the cutter. And it did that 3 times for me today because I'm stubborn and do not learn lessons. And the 3rd time it actually picked it up and took a massive chunk and threw it at my face, which was lovely. So this is great, works perfectly until it gets to about 3 millimeters thick, and then you got to kind of stop because it will basically pull itself out of the vise and throw it at you, which isn't great because, you know, eyes and shit. Yeah. Drill press. This drill press actually really hurt me a couple months ago. It did that to me. So I was doing line locks and I was drilling holes into the frame, and it kind of pulled itself up, helicoptered, and a sharp part of the liner basically opened up my hand. It was just 3 stitches, but could have been a lot worse. I could have cut tendons in there, and that would have been surgery time, which I'm not a fan of because I do not like sitting around and waiting things to heal. So I made this thing. It's basically just oil thread bolted in there, and that's there to stop me doing it again because I very much like my fingers. Over here with my Widowmaker. This is named the Widowmaker because it likes to throw shit when you're not careful. I'm pretty careful with it, and you definitely want to give these machines, basically any machine that spins like this, a lot of respect. This one too, this is my buffer. I do not use this a whole lot, but when I do it, I am definitely very, very careful because it does not take a lot for this thing to throw knives at you. Bin, I know, very interesting. This is my wall of drill presses. So we have the very first drill press I bought. This has lasted me 8 years now. Works great. I still drill just tiny holes with it. Like any hole that's like 3mm and under and doesn't need to be accurate gets done on this thing, which is why it is set to a very high speed. So it just goes and does all the little holes real well. Over here we have my dedicated D10 drill. This is one job in the world, and that is to drill D10s, and that is all it ever does, and it does it very, very well. It's got a really small little motor in there, so for carbide bits it actually works well and helps you not destroy your carbide. And this is my highest mates drill press, which is in here, and all it ever does is countersink stuff. And this is my lathe. This is also broken. The thread in here is completely stripped out, so yeah, that needs to be fixed. Not sure how, but it's going to be fixed. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. That is the new workshop. I've got more build videos coming. I have a build video coming for, where are they? These guys, which was actually half filmed in the old workshop, so we'll see how that goes. And I've got a build video coming for these two. So we'll see how that goes too. And then of course the ridiculous one, which I have to find time for, because that could be, basically I could make this thing any time between the next week or the next 3 years, so we'll see when I find time. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.